Assalamu alaikum guys. This is the second lecture related to lab apparatus. We have discussed the lab apparatus in the previous lecture and we have introduced different type of the apparatuses over there. This is an apparatus which is called as test tube rack. You can see this thing, it is a rack and it can be made up of plastic, it can be made up of wood or a metal as well, aluminum metal as well mostly, because aluminum is a lighter weight metal, so that's why mostly it is used for that. So in this case we can keep the test tubes in the cabinets of the lab as well, and while performing the experiments as well. Okay, you will see such type of the apparatus when you are going to use different type of the when you are going to perform different type of the experiments in the lab. So test tube rack is an important apparatus to control the different types of the test tubes, new test tubes or those test tubes which are in your use. You can keep those test tubes in front of you. Okay, there is another apparatus which is called as the boiling tube as well, guys. Here there is a test tube. You can see this thing that a test tube is used basically for the performance of the small scale experiment. Test tubes are mostly made up of glass, but they can be made up of plastic as well. There are different types of the test tube depending upon the use. Mostly they are of the standard size. This is the standard size test tube. You can see this thing, this is the standard size test tube. Okay, so test tubes are made up of glass which can withstand the high temperature, which can withstand the effect of the different chemicals as well. But you should know this thing very clearly that a test tube is basically used for the performance of the experiments at a smaller scale. Okay, so this is called as the test tube holder. A test tube holder can be either made up of wood, can be either made up of metal as well. You can see this thing that there are two different types of the test tubes holders over there. One is called the one which is with the wooden handle, it is called as the test tube holder, and the other is called as the test tube clamp as well, or a holder as well. Okay, mostly we are using the test tube holder which is with the wood holder. Why it is so? Because wood is insulator to heat, so while performing different type of the chemical reaction there can be a heat procedure as well, so which is affecting the hands of a student. So it is better always to take the wooden handle. Okay, so I am taking you to the next page, and here there is another apparatus which is called as the boiling tube. A boiling tube and a test tube are different from each other. A boiling tube is comparatively wider, whereas a test tube is comparatively narrow. In a boiling tube, mostly we are using it for boiling of the liquid at a small scale. Okay, so I am going to show you the difference between the two, their sizes. You can see this thing in this diagram that the boiling tube is comparatively wider, whereas test tube is comparatively narrow. Okay, so this is the diagram for the boiling flask. It is a boiling flask. It has a big ball like bottom and a very small neck is used to hold this neck is used to hold this flask with the help of a clamp or with the help of a stand, etc. This surface area at the bottom is providing a large surface area. Basically this broader body at the bottom is providing a large surface area for boiling, so that lots of the liquid, so that most of the liquid can be under the process of boiling. Okay, so this is called as the reagent bottle. Some of the reagent bottles are dark brown glass, whereas most of them are clear glass. Dark brown glass reagent bottle is used so that the light may not transmit through it, because light can change the composition of different type of the chemical reactions. Some of the chemical reactions are photocatalyzed reactions. Photocatalyzed reactions are those reactions which are catalyzed by light. So there are different chemical reactions in which there can be a change in their composition due to light. So such type of the reagents are kept into dark reagent bottles. Otherwise many of the reagents can be kept very safely in these clear bottles. Okay, After this is the clamp. This is, you may say, a tong. Tongs are the spellings. This tong is used to hold such type of apparatus like crucible. You can take off the crucible from the burner to the side with the help of this tong. So this tong is just like a scissors. Specifically it is called as crucible tong. Mostly it is called tong, but it can be called as crucible tong as well, because we have to hold the crucible with the help of this tong. Okay, now I am taking you to the next page, and this is called as a wash bottle. Wash bottle has water in it. Specifically, you may say, it can has distilled water in it. And why it has distilled water? To wash at a smaller scale. We can use this wash bottle. When we can press this wash bottle, liquid will start coming out. You can see this picture. In this a scientist is pressing, a man is pressing this wash bottle. As a result, the water is coming out of it, and we can say that the liquid is washing that container. Okay, now I am taking you to the next board. On this board, you can see this thing. This is called as a gas jar. When in any chemical reaction a gas is forming, it can be collected initially into a gas jar. You can see this is the gas jar over there. I am zooming this diagram. Okay, a gas jar has a lid over it. You can see this lid as well, and gas jar is used to have the gas at the start. After filling the gas, you can close it with the lid type of thing. You can close it with a stopper type of thing. Okay, now I am taking you to the next board, and this is the diagram for the gas syringe. Guys, look at here. Right now a gas is forming in a chemical reaction. After formation, it is moving, and it is going to be collected. Not only to be collected, rather it is measured with the help of a gas syringe. So sometimes gas collection is there, and sometimes gas measurement is the topic. So what is the gas collection? Gas collection can be done in a gas jar. And how gas measurement can be done? Gas measurement can be performed in a gas syringe. So gas syringe is used for the measurement, whereas gas jar is used for the gas collection. Okay, now this is the next board, and that are the diagrams over there. You can see examiner can ask this thing: what is P, what is Q, what is R? Q is the round bottom flask. You may say it is a round bottom flask. It is not a measuring flask. It is not the volumetric flask. Q is the round bottom flask, whereas R is the filter funnel. And what about the P? P is the condenser. It is the exact name of the P is the Liebig condenser. Okay, I will show you how a Liebig condenser is working and what is the purpose of condenser. But here I am just telling you that Q is the round bottom flask. R is the filter funnel, whereas P is the Liebig condenser. Okay, now this is the next. I am taking you to the next questions. Okay, what is P here? A P is the conical flask, whereas what about the Q? Q is again the pipette. You can see that the mark is above that bulb. Okay, so here there is a question related to the collection of gases in the you may consider in the gas jar. Afterwards, you can see this is the Liebig condenser, and it is inserted into a round bottom flask. And then I am taking you to the next diagram here. Okay, this is the detail related to the apparatus. I would like to show you one more thing, and that is called as burette. Okay, a burette is basically an apparatus which is used in the titration. Here I am going to show you the burette. In this diagram, this is the pipette only. There is no burette over there. I will show you a burette. A burette is basically an apparatus which is used in titration. We can fill the liquid in the burette and we can use it in titration. I will show you the burette in the next diagram, in the next lecture. This is all for today. Thank you very much.